I put abandoned right now to the capital and the capital B.
Abandoned. You don't have a poem about abandoned.
See, abandonment. I'm gonna write abandonment. But abandonment to this. You know what I'm saying? Abandonment is where you trying to find a way out of this problem you are stuck. Are you wondering, wishing, hoping, waiting for a blessing to come that is not coming? Going all into her room, into the office, down the hall, third floor, second floor, restroom, here's the things that you do. Here, long, you those sections. See?
Track. What can be more a track than a thought? Thought that takes you down over.
See how that magic is?
But here's a poem for her.
Thank
And this
you. You've been a
poem,
happy ending.
it does actually. I always do. It's called Controlling Angels. Because so often in life, what we think is that people say, "Oh, I have an angel on my left and my right shoulder." And I believe that our choices are not between good and evil. Our choices are between good and good. Just I have an angel on each other, and both of them give me a good choice. So, and when you think about abandonment, recognize that that's a state of mind where you decide that you've been abandoned instead of recognizing that you've been given an option. Okay. So this is called Controlling Angels. As one angel begged me to follow the right path, the other urged me down the left. Either presented me with the line of hope. Each had a method to its blessing. Both knew when they had my attention. As important as it is to control your angels, it's equally crucial that you walk the path on the correct side, no matter what side. So that's the key that you have to think about with abandonment, because you think that, you say somebody made you feel like a fool, or a fool is therefore all feeling ourselves outside of love. When we think that we are not being loved, that God doesn't love us, that people don't love us, that's a good thing. Because that's a foolish thought to think that someone could actually not love you. Recognize that the people who say they don't love you are just not your people. And it's okay. So why are you trying to get love from someone who has no love to give you? Okay? So when they go in their love, they don't see love, they have no love to pass on. And so sometimes what they have to do is come to you to so that they can get that about themselves. That's who you may feel abandoned, because once they get what they need, they leave. So control the angels in your life. I recognize that you are the angel of God. So each of the ladies of my
See what happened? This is why we need. Shane says, "Oh, that's an awesome concept." Yeah, see?
Thank you. Let me see if I see I got somebody on my look, y'all that are over there on my side. Go with y'all small page. I'm not going to answer you over here. Well, this is my younger brother over here, John Small. I met him when I was here. Actually, I was here. I've been here 8 years, but I just met him this year.
Yeah.
But at the end of last
Really last.
year. Okay. And that one of the reasons I'm here on this broadcast is because I've been in my customer business for years. And that's the gift. And it had me hard. And if anything, I'm also supportive of that thing. My energy is just like that. Really very conscious of it. But once I met John and his guys, and I went to the poetry center, it's just ridiculous. And so I had to because I just doing stupid contract with the military. But, and so, use yeah. So yeah, I'm now me. I've been listening since I actually got a radio, but I've been so enjoying listening to it. And I hope if y'all have been on this broadcast this month, and that's your month, that you recognize you listen to some great poets. One of my books is called A Poet and Every Prophet. And if you think about it, if you look at the word prophet, you see there's the P-O-E-T. So there's a poet in every problem. And I think prayer means recognizing that God gave me a sharing prophecy that has been given down to them. And the people who are in the faith of the Bible, we have to realize that the people who wrote the Bible said that they talk about saints. Can they do it? These days, everything has to be certified. So why can we not decide that a poet who has been given a word is not a prophet? And also in the Bible, you look at false prophets. So everybody technically is a prophet. It's just whose message are you going to listen to? And then with wisdom being retrospect, you can't decide that somebody's message is good until you've been through the training of fire yourself. You go through the training fire every day. Thank the poets and know, get some new poets and get some from and find out how you can better share your gifts. Because a lot of times people will say to us, well, you know, this is a new podcast. Is this any good? And I don't even look at the podcast. I say, yeah, it's good. Because it's your poem. How can I tell you your creation is It's just like people want to say bad choice. You know, creation is creation has to be cultivated. So it's like I say, you know, when you talk about these kids, these kids of today.
Yeah, right?
So your children mocking their adults. If you are not the adult that they mocking them, well, now you
ain't got a problem.
But if you're the adult that they mocking them, you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah.
So I digress. And let me see, my people, did y'all come on over to John's page? Because I'm not going to answer you. See up there in the top, there's a link to click on so that you can be on the main feed and be involved with the whole tribe of this celebration that we're conducting here in the CLT. Take a break. Oh, God. And as you see Miss White, you see, again, my theme is we are sweating chocolate. Sweet chocolate, guys. Don't talk about how speaking of those I'm talking to, and then I said to him, I said, because I don't want to be up there talking about chocolate sweating. And this is a group of soldiers and family members who are getting ready to deploy. So, that's one of the things I do about de-stress. Changing the work so that, and whether you have a code or just the children, it's the words that make a difference in. And then you also see, they talk about soldiers in that state. These 600 soldiers and their families. But I knew that that's what was going on with me, and I shared. What's going on in your life right now that you can share to lift somebody else's life up? And you don't have to know who's got to lift up. Your job is to deliver the message, not to stand there and wait for the results. Because waiting for results can be judgmental. Because you decide that this is how you should react to what I just said. All of them, people react to it. Your job is to deliver the message. And the only message that you really deliver is who you are. Because when you do, it makes all of us possible. I'm just because we're in the live room.
I told
you. Oh, see, people are my feet. That's cool. Get on over to the John Small page. That's John right there. And that's Pam right there. And they're the ones who put this whole thing on. Pam has provided the resources and the venue, and John guitar. So, and Pam is also a part of the town. And there's somebody we don't know in the background. And isn't just like full of people in the background that you don't know. So get on over to John Small's page Every now and then I just do a commercial over here to let y'all know. Oh, you can't hear. That's what's happening. Okay. Is there a way to put my, okay. You type that in. Oh, okay. Yeah. Or anyway. So one of the things that I did do on my feed is I said to people that I'm going to be at this page to get the last comment.
Yeah, I think I just.
Okay.
Yes, that's.
Is that if there's a topic that you want me, because I might be going on 11 color, on the phone about it, like there it goes. So if there's a common topic that you want to hear something put up feed, I will see if I have one in my repertoire. Well, all my books with me, I got 4 books of poetry and 2 books of information. So if you want my feed, please put that in.
Which one for me?
No, I'm telling people that they're not open my feed. Okay. So again, my name is Sporty.
No,
Check out on the video. But I know it's in Japan, we went to this restaurant. There's a seafood restaurant. They got fish. You see them. And you have to fix your thank you for saying that. And I'm going to say PG-13. It just sounds like but the thing is, it's a group on don't have to get something or whatever. And then just pull them up. When the first thing that folks that you know, where you get 3 options. Now you want your name, but they cut from head to somebody from its head. But here's the point. Okay, I'll get it. The point on that is I couldn't do it either. Oh, well, that's why I couldn't do it either. And so we take it at night. We take it, and I said, look, no shade. We're gonna do a live. We just take it like no shade. My day can't do this. And I put the hook down.
Is that why you don't eat meat? Because you feeling like? I'm not mad at you.
Yeah. And then so when I posted
I need some chicken.
When I posted it, a lot of people, that's a lot of people said, Sporty, I don't blame you, I wouldn't do it either. And not that because of being vegetarian, it just
Is this your Jane? Jane?
Bless you. Hey, Jane, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. You're not on the thing. Okay, I'm just checking.
You on my line?
Oh, you on that one?
No, I'm just saying.
Wait.
I'm squeamish about knowing something and doing it, and I'm afraid to buy it and something else doing it.
Wow.
You know, think about that. What are my values?
Yeah.
So, I feel like if I'm not doing it, I should also not be doing it to make somebody else take it for me. So that I can do it.
That's
So,
deep.
What do you call it? Or something after the fact. What do they call it? Accessory after the fact.
Oh,
But I mean, I have to pay responsibility for the effect of my purchase.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I'm trying to get so I don't eat beef, right? I guess you're trying to eat the goods for eating chicken and and turkey every now and then. And goat.
It is.
Yes. But here's the thing, a lot of people don't, they never hear it, right? We just eat. And now I'm like, this fried chicken I'm thinking about later is fried letter beef. We just changed it.
That's somebody else.
That's
Somebody
what I
else
said.
did something that you wouldn't do.
And you know they did. It's not like you can guess, but maybe they didn't. You know they did.
But the God knows what
Like, to me, yeah.
And I guess, you know, I don't know.
Sure.
It's,
I feel like
And see how that connects you can do that and control it. The separation of choice. It's not
it might not be able to.
yeah, but you just jacked me all up. My lunch is just canceled.
not mine. I'm having 2 steaks, a taco. No, but that is really an alternative to that explanation,
It is
which I
absolutely.
never questioned. Choice. I've never said, why are you a vegetarian? You know, they say vegetarian. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's the thing about life. See, we look for the differences so much that we don't see them as value.
Mhm.
You know, because it gives you another option.
Mhm. Option.
Because we always say, well, why are they doing that? I don't know why. Well, now you know. So those of you, maybe if you didn't hear what Pam said as a vegetarian, her philosophy is that she won't eat something that she wouldn't pick. Okay? And you know that someone has feelings and needs, whatever kind of need it is. So if I wouldn't do it, then I would eat from it. Plate that is prepared. I like that.
But Shane says, I'll strangle a deer with my bare hands if I'm hungry.
See you on the road rage committee.
You know, so let's
She
just
got
get
to
back.
get back to
Yeah,
work.
she's got to get back. I met Shane probably 4, 5 years ago now. Before we started, working with this, it was just poets. I hadn't even she had events going on. And we come back and forth. I met her before shooting on Monday. I didn't square. And the Mondays would just come out and we just be going to the square. That what was there. And she came out the first time. I was like, man, she is really a firecracker. I did not know that her poet means riot. But when you see her, it's like, oh, look at who she is. And then she gives you this, you're like, yeah, she really is a riot. You know what I mean? She is, man, I can't, if you're in this field, you're interested in coming to the workshop, if you do Saturday, open up at the main library, Shane's doing the workshop. She is a phenomenal teacher, phenomenal poet, and a phenomenal spirit. So if you can come out and enjoy, that's Jane. Is that one of your friends, Jane?
Yeah, Jane. Freedom is a prayer. Study is freedom of this
Mhm.
because all the chemicals
Jane.
that are injected into meat. See, and that's another part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's great when we can open up and just hear what somebody else is saying instead of learning what we agree or disagree. It's almost not important if you
Right.
disagree.
Isn't it?
We can usually find disagreement that usually I want you to do it my way. Instead of, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, cool. And I really live that way. I'm not, holier than slipper. But the only people who say to me was, how can you live this? I said, well, I don't question it. I'm big on yes or no questions.
Mm-hmm.
That yes or no answers. When you say to me, what's up? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then people want me to delve into it. No, that's a personal choice. When I was in Japan, you know, uh, one of the things that happened, somebody would say, I would say, so and so thing for you. They have us.
I've never been that person. I just don't ask the extra questions. I always felt like if you wanted me to know something, you were going to tell me. And I just, my mom told me something. My mom told me this one time. Someone told me to say, oh, it's okay when you meet a person, as a man, you know what I mean? she's going to tell you everything she wants you to know. You have to give her time to tell you. If you're taking too long to figure it out, she will tell you. And I just took that and thought about that in life. If you want me to know why you put this particular shirt on your day, you'll tell me. If you don't want me to know, then you just won't tell me. And I have to be fine with it. I've never been that. What they say, well, what do you have? How do you like? I've just never been that way.
Yeah.
My first funny thing, I had this conversation with a friend all the time. My daughter used to say, well, did you ask to say something? I said, no, well, why did you ask? I was like, well, why would I ask? If they want me to know.
Right?
And sometimes you really don't want to know.
Can I cure them?
Yeah. You know? I don't, I'm not a scientist. I don't have.
And I love how things so funny to talk about your book, telling me that. And why you wear the t-shirt. The reason I wear this t-shirt, you see the green ribbon? That's for liver cancer. And my mother died of it. So when I created this t-shirt, chose the color and ribbon to she and my mother's story. That's why I said to, and then this they used it to do it to my
So this gentleman, his wife.
okay. And so that's what also, like I said, I get that. Really, because I liked the other conversation. And so that was one of the reasons I chose to wear this today. Because we need to be aware. We only think about the picture. We got to be really aware. But there are actually, I don't know how many different colors are, you know, there's a list. But find the two to read. And then you end up with them. Also, suicide awareness. Then you'll see people with the beads on it. Thinking, this are actually semi-common, know that they use 6 or 7 colors of beads to represent what stage in the suicide puzzle you represent. So,
I need to research.
Yeah, see, I know that blue means that I am support suicide. Purple means that I know something. So that then there's, you know, then there's one for who's a survivor, you know, different colors.
Yeah, things are, yeah. It was, I was just talking about this last night. I was like, I want to do orange. Or orange is good about it. I want to do green. Just a dream. It's and that's hard because I've always, before I was actually a bit, I've always got one. And I thought it was just because my birthday was Halloween, but it's bigger than that. Like, you know, it's just like they say in the Bible was written, so it was written in today, but still some of the stuff had not happened. So it kind of gave me that thing, maybe like that orange that I fell in love with because it's something that was going to be a big part of my life. I did not know I would be in love with orange, and then that would be such a major thing. But it's amazing because it's blue for autism, right? It's a certain shade of blue for autism. Because my nephew has autism. But there's so many different things. So I definitely like to find out about the suicide.
And for those that you're listening, now let's get back to poetry a little bit, and that is you heard John say, before I was a victim of gun violence. And now that you see him saying that, and you know that the sentence is before I had victim of gun violence. Because the thing is that one of the poems that he loved when he heard me first read was from my original book, which is called I Found Out I'm Dying. Yeah. Celebration of life. Now, that look like I got a problem with dying. Oh, it's fine. There's not a poem in there like that. Every poem in here is that. But the reason I chose that title is because all of us are dying. Okay? What would you do if the doctor gave you a diagnosis telling you have 2 months to live, 2 weeks to live? And so you found out, oh, okay, well, let me get my things to do this. I'm going to do this and that. Well, guess what? Number one, the doctor can't give you 2 months to live. That's right. People with 2 months diagnosis out there 2 years later. And so my belief is that, so since they found out and made a list, I found out by the fact that I was born. I know I'm dying that I'm okay with it. So I'm doing my things to do list. And when people would call it a bucket list, they call it a liver list. What do you do right now? Because one day you will be here. And every time someone dies, regardless of your age, people say too soon. 80-year-old people they say too soon. So how's the difference between an 80 and an 8? Which one is too soon? See? So you won't be here one day. What are you doing to enjoy your life? This is why I gave up so good at asking all those extra questions. Because all those extra questions don't add a day to my life. When I went to Japan, people said, well, how long is the flight? I said, and when the pilot takes off, so the pilot
And actual facts.
yeah, I'm a passenger. I'm a passenger in life. And there are things that I don't need to know so that I can go and move forward. It's just like where we say stay in your lane. Well, that's what staying in your lane is. I am going to read the poem. I found out I'm dying. So I want you to hear that and just think about what you have been saying to people about living. So this is I found out. You see, actually, I've known it for quite some time now. But for so many of us, it's new news. So I'd like to thank you, God, for yesterday, as much as I do for today. And I ask that you, my friends, pause, but not stop, to think about some of the wild things I've survived before this, my greatest challenge. And believe me, death is the only challenge we won't sit and talk about or relive. But we can find joy in it. Joy because there'll be enough kind words at the funeral to create a new dictionary. Kind words that I need now more than ever. You see, kind words keep us alive, physically, mentally, spiritually. I found out I'm dying. And when I woke up this morning, I wept. Then I laughed aloud and started to sing, but remember that I couldn't sing. So I danced instead. And I whistled a tune as I made my bed. I threw open the window and let out a cheer, which I can't do in the library. Actually, I just smiled so no one could hear. I exercised and ate and looked at myself in the mirror. Oops, no, I exercised, ate, and did my meal. Then I looked in the mirror and gave myself a win. Not bad for a body that survived another day. I'm so blessed to get older. That's all I can say. I didn't bother reading the obituary because I knew I wasn't there. Instead, I put my fingernail to neatly style my hair. I found out I'm dying. And I have been since day number one. So I spend little time regretting my life. But I gotta spend the time having fun. And that's what I'm saying. I'm enjoying my life. But here's what I did. I decided to make a sequel to that poem. And yeah, it's called I Found Out I'm Living. Because see, I found out I'm dying is about the physical side of life. As my life went on, because of my belief in that physical separation, my spiritual growth came to me. And that's what this poem I found out I'm living is about spiritual growth, but it's in the same tempo of I found out I'm dying. And that's what poets do sometimes. And you hear it in musicians when the songs, they got that same beat and that cadence that they use that they're known for. You wouldn't, so many people don't realize James Brown actually made some slow songs because we're used to hearing about his fast records, but James Brown, he made at least two. I know This Is a Man's World. This Is a Man's World was one of them. And by the way, the subtitle is This Is a Man's World, but it'll be nothing without a woman or a girl. So let's remember to not have violence against our sisters, mothers, aunts, nieces. Okay. See, all of the messages are there, whether it's through poetry, through song, but they connect somehow. So this is called I Found Out I'm Living. And you see, actually, I've known it for quite some time now, yet only at a surface level. And again, I thank you, God, for yesterday as much as I do for today. And I ask that you, my friends, join me in recognizing that the challenge of this roller coaster ride called life is even greater when you take responsibility for your actions and self. For as I am able to look at where I was and what I did, it becomes more evident to me who I am. And through that realization, I extend my hand to touch you, actually to feel you. Because in my position as conduit of good spirits, the physicality of our sharing pales in comparison to how and why we must love one another. I found out I'm living. And when I woke up this morning, I praised that vision, that I might be allowed to ride his coattails and see him in my every decision. I sat by the window and took in another breath, but somewhere, somehow, someone didn't. So I checked my five for their alignment with my sixth sense. Thus my ability to experience, while my smile sent a flush of joy to every tip of this temporary body I occupy and come back in an unspoken word of comfort. I read the word to exercise my soul of fear. I recognized what others call miracles as the blessings that were always there. I found out I'm living and that I have been since day number one. Yet it was not until I released my physical self that I was really able to give God the glory and thanks for all that I've done. So what I did in my second book, Your Name Came to Mind, I opened it with I found that I'm dying and followed it immediately with I found out I'm living, so that you could see the contrast and see that really all we're talking about is stepping from physical life to spiritual life. Regardless of what your spirituality is, your faith, who you believe in, you have to recognize that there's something that you believe in that has gotten you this far. And there's someone who doesn't want you to get further. So they try to stop you from believing. Again, see how it all connects? Vegan, vegetarian, carnivorous, anorexic, black, white, male, female, tall, short, old, young. All of us are in this together. And for those of us who believe in God, if you believe in God, if God chose this combination for the melting pot, why would you decide that it should not be so? That's kind of how, God made us our sex, our size, our color, our beliefs. So when you are judging against someone else, you're actually doubting God's creation. But then you go to church and talk about God is good, and let no man put asunder with God. You see, we say again the cliches, the cliches that we use, and we don't even listen to what we're saying. We bless people and we hurt people with our mouths. If we take the time to be patient with our hearts and listen to what we're saying, we'll do more blessing than we do hurt. And that's where we always want to come from. So we're going to take a break here, and then we'll come back and say some more stuff. Throw some comments there, what you think about that. And like I said, we'll see if I got a poem that you want to hear based on the topic. Or if you can just share some information, as Jane did, to give us another side to complete the puzzle. We'd be happy to see that in the comments right now, because Poetry Month on the calendar, or the man-made calendar, is an calendar for 1 more week to go. But poetry life doesn't stop.
When it stop, won't stop. Man,
we have a judge today.
I'm glad you're here. I didn't realize the dates until yesterday. And I know you told me it was coming. And I didn't realize the dates until yesterday. And I was like, I think sports coming. I said, oh, yeah, sports coming. I said, I'd love to be on sports coming. So I'm so happy that you're here, bro. Like, this is the best thing. This is the best thing. Like, you talk about how the meetings gave you an extra spark. And, but meeting you, like that, told you the night I met you at that event with Brian and Lisa McNeil, like you really put an impression. It's really, when you got to the microphone, everything changed. You know what I mean? And there was folks who knew you and stuff, and I didn't know him, but I was like, man, there's something about him that just in automatically, before you even got into the poem, you was already giving his poetry before you even started. And then What I appreciate more about when you meet
That's my
poets,
sister.
when you meet
Shout out to
poets,
my sister Zach.
when you meet poets and they have this spirit about them that follows them even more than just on you want to be on stage, and you're one of those people who have that ginormous spirit, right? And people that see you, it's like, there's things about you that kind of stick out. And I was like, from day one, I was like, when I realized you was there, I didn't know you was performing until you said you was performing. I was like, man, I was looking, I was like, who is this guy? Because first of all, you reminded me of
Denzel.
a family member. Yeah, Denzel, that guy.
Oh, my bad. Don't interrupt.
You reminded me of a family member. It's like you were like family in the moment before I even met you. And then to see you get to perform, I'm like tapping my mom and like, look at this guy. But it was just really amazing to be. I love being around great spirit. That's why the people I keep around me.
Yeah.
Because we know some poets who don't have great spirit. They might be awesome performers and stuff. No.
I really enjoyed his background stuff.
Sky is something special. Don't forget.
We don't know many people who are not great spirits.
We don't know many. Well, let's characters. I should say characters instead of spirits because I can't judge someone's spirit, but the character isn't so good. And even if they are amazing poets, they are amazing in their artwork. But when you meet people who are amazing all around, like they deserve honor and mention. So yeah, I was like, I said, look, Sporty is coming, y'all better be ready. That's when it was right there.
And wait, especially since my sister's on it. Now my sister's Zach. Yeah, she's in New York, and so was Jane. That's my New York family. And
I'm from
y'all
Brooklyn.
over
I'm
there,
from Brooklyn.
I'm telling you, you're on my feed. Click on Josh's feed for me to answer your questions and comments. But me and my sister, we're born 10 months apart. She's born 10 months after me.
Oh, wow.
Right, and so I call it a placenta baby. But that's my heart right there. And we, they'll call her the female Sporty and me the male Zach.
Oh, wow.
Because we keep that going. And so as I was listening to you talking about the spirit that I bring into the room, and it's funny because you tend to, we all misjudge someone. That's what we do. When you meet someone, you decide who they are, and that's human nature. Don't feel bad about it. We all do it, okay? And so I'm teaching this life skills class in Chicago, and I'm telling them, and it's for people who are on public aid and substance abuse, and so some of them don't really want to be there, but they have to be there to get their check. And I'm talking to them about being positive. So one guy says, Mr. Sporty, you tell me all this positive stuff. But you look like you never even fell off a bicycle. And I looked at him and I said, sit your ass down and shut up. They hollered. And we were like this ever since then. That class went so much smoother. Because then I went on to tell him, I said, look, I make a choice to use the language and vocabulary and the lives that I'm living. And so that's what I'm saying to you. I said, now if I came in here and just decided for me to be on your level, which is already an insult to you, that I'm telling you that I have to be on your level, and just I got a courage to say all of these things to try to sound like I'm connected. I said, that's disrespectful to you. And I'm here to teach you to not appreciate being disrespected, but to be appalled that someone is disrespecting. I'm losing when someone's disrespecting.
Yeah, you see, just let me laugh at it because when you read it.
Stop telling how your mom died. Yes, okay, you got it. I ain't gonna tell him that our mother just threw me in the crib and say, let's hurry up and get another one of these. And that's how you came out. But I'm so glad that you did. But I brought that up to say again, when people talk about, when you talk about poetry, and people say, well, they just want to keep it real. Real is who you are. You don't have to change your way of expression just to get along with people. And this also boils over into the issue of self-esteem that we see our teenagers and young kids going through, and our adults. It's because we're so busy trying to be liked and recognize that what we need to be is respected. Jane's got a good long comment, and I love her stuff. She said, reason I changed my diet is because I have CHF, congestive heart failure. I feel great right now. I have changed my stop eating number one killer salt, processed food, meat, cut down on coffee, no soda, period. I'm on a Mediterranean diet. And I'm trying to go to the Mediterranean one day. Somewhat unrelated. Okay, eating less beef, pork, no fried food, no fast food, fish, turkey, chicken, meat, legumes, fruits, olive oil. Now my blood pressure's 130 over 67. I'm 50 over 100. There are days that I don't eat, period.
Wow. Yeah.
Wonderful testimony. Wonderful testimony. And let me add that, let's see, I've cut down on salt. I have no intention of cutting down on processed food or meat. I will uplift and increase my coffee intake. But I do drink my coffee. I do drink my coffee with honey rather than sugar. Okay, and then let's see. I actually don't drink sodas very much, but I did start drinking sweet tea. Fried foods. I don't have a need or dislike for fried foods. I like fish best fried. So and she said more fish. Okay, turkey. I like turkey. Chicken. Okay. Fruits. I gotta get better at eating fruits because I'm not giving them not even right away and they spoil us because I'm single. So they're not going. There's certain foods that don't go fast. One thing I do to tell you single people, because we tend to think that a loaf of bread is going to be stale. You could put bread in the freezer. Okay, so when I get the loaves of bread and I take out maybe 6 to 8 slices, I'll take out an even number because I'm going to make a sandwich or toast, and I put the rest in the freezer. And then usually that bread thaws out quick. Think about it, same as when you get the frozen waffles. And just put them in the toaster. So put your bread in the freezer. There's my dietary tip. And Haas is a vegan. Haas is the guy who introduced me to Jane. Oh wow! So it's a good connection that we became friends. Let me get some love.
I do know for certain that I am. Fried chicken is like that's hard for me to turn on the fried chicken.
Yeah.
Fried fish, forget about it. And I love me some fried fish. But I don't like fish with the bone. I don't have. See, I'm greedy. I don't have time to fight me. This guy. Hey, what must have happened to a fish sandwich and then be like, here for the bone? And I love whiting, but I hate when I have those with bone. I don't have to.
This thing got one from grandma, because grandma eats the bone.
Yeah.
So that she could have a new conversation. With grease been dripping off her lips.
So don't bring me no croaker, don't bring me no porgy, those bony fish like that I can't do.
Right, whiting.
Whiting has that.
It's hard to get to. Yeah.
You have to cut that little. Yeah. And then sometimes it be stuck in between. It's not a lot of it, but then when it's there, it's there.
Right. And I actually don't have a home about food.
Me either, unfortunately. But because when I think about writing food, I go eat something.
But we have acronyms about food. So let's have a Thanksgiving meal.
Sporty's like an all-you-need shop and shop. He's got everything you need right there.
Let's have a
There's some trailers and stuff.
Okay. This is called, this is in my book, affirmations. They're acronyms that are affirmations. And so it's, what I like to do is, I don't like to just have an acronym with just the words. Like, I like my acronyms to actually try to mean what the word says. I'm clear with that. But so this is called Food for Thoughts for the Holidays. Okay, which you can air fry them and then eat flounder and codfish. That's true. And you could buy me an air fryer. So that I can do that. August is the calendar birthday, but I celebrate my birthday the 27th of every month because I'm a month older. Don't let kids get all the glory. You know how we say they 18 months? Okay. They 1.5. Okay, no, I'm 63 and a half.
And if it's a 2-for-1 sale, I'll take the other one.
That's my brother. We working this. Okay. But here's some acronyms for Thanksgiving. And so first we have thanks, THANKS. The heart always needs kindred spirits. The heart always needs kindred spirit. That's what thanks is all about. Just like they were earlier talking about, we don't know and they don't know any bad spirited people. We know them, we just don't keep them. And the truth is, let me change that just a little. Most people are really bad spirited. Our interaction with them is not. So we can find, there's another thing that we can be patient and find the goodness in that spirit.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times people are, judgment, by the way, you are judgmental. Okay, get over. Don't, oh, I'm not judgmental. Yes, you are.
Mhm.
All of us are judgmental. It's human nature. My prayer every morning is that I could be less judgmental.
Mhm.
And here's what I'm saying. If someone hurts you, whether it's in a relationship or a situation, when you see someone who reminds you of that person, you automatically put your guard up. That's judgmental. See, so, and you should do that because we have that cliche that says, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. That's judgmental. So, but the key is, can you be realistic enough to know that, well, that's actually not that person. He or she looks like them, but I know that's not them. So I'm going to at least reserve my judgment and give them the chance to show that everybody like them isn't like them. Okay?
Mhm.
So that's what I mean by we're all judgmental, and it's really just the way we do things. And it's okay. So just try to be less judgmental, give people a chance. Because a lot of times, we're right. You meet somebody and they're a knucklehead, and you recognize that knucklehead spirit. But what it is they don't work for you. They're good they're good as who they are, and they've got other plans, but they're not right for you. And I teach my nieces and nephews all the time that anybody in a relationship, I know a lot of people when they break up, well, why? What's the matter with me? Nothing. This is not the relationship that needs to continue.
Right.
And so if you want to say you're brokenhearted, that's fine because you break your own heart by having a false expectation of who this other person was. Once you find out who they are, the same way they decide that your relationship isn't working, actually, there's only two votes. They say it's not working. You can't say it is. There's no tiebreaker. Once one person says the relationship's not working, it's not working. So what you have to do is make that decision. Are we going to do something to make it work? Because what's not working about it? Or is this hey, it's not going to work if that's what you're expecting. That's a whole nother conversation. It's a tough one. So I'm going to just quickly go through the food. And then food, FOOD, is fine offering of deliciousness. That's what we want our food to be. Let's have some corn, CORN. Carry on rejoicing now, because this is the day the Lord has made. And then fat, FAT. Food is always tasty, but also faithful, attractive, and trustworthy. We all want to be fat. Let's have some greens, GREENS. God restrains evil, envious, and negative spirits. God restrains evil, envious, and negative spirits. Yeah, he doesn't let everybody get to you that wants to get to you. You may think that, but even if you really think about it, a lot of times people say, well, the devil is busy. They say, no. God is in charge of everything. Most of us know the story of Job. Most of us heard of Job, but if you read Job, you will find that Satan does everything according to God's plan. He has no power. He asks God. First of all, God recommends that he go after Job.
Right. Talk about that.
Yeah, he wasn't going after Job. Check it out. He was going after John. Okay, and God said, man, John ain't ready. Let me distract him. Have you considered my servant Job? And since Satan was egotistical, He said, well, you know what? I'm going to get Job and Job
Right.
at the same time. I'm going to get a 2-for-1, just like John tried to get the 2-for-1 on the air fryer, right? And so therefore now, so then God says to Satan, okay, you can go after Job, but you don't get to do this to him. You can only go after him based on my guidelines. Now, if the devil was so big and bad, he would say, I don't care what God said, I'm going to do what I want to do. No, he went after Job according to God's rules and regulations, and he did not get through to Job. So when God checked on him and he said, well, how you doing with Job? He said, man, you know what? I could have gotten Job, but you won't let me do this. Did y'all realize that? Satan said to God, you won't let me do this.
You teaching that. You teaching that.
So God said, okay. Oh, that's what's holding you back? You think you're still better than me? I tell you what, you could do that, but you can't do this. See, God ain't going to, remember, God restrains evil, envious, and negative spirit. He ain't going to let somebody get you all the way. He's going to just give them a little bit of what they can do to just pluck your nerves. But here's the other part of the story. Now Satan got all caught up in trying to get Job, and while he was doing that, guess what happened? He wasn't working on Job.
Leave me alone.
That time he was using on Job, he wasn't using on Job. And Job got stronger. And now what happened was Satan got a 2-for-1 loss, because when he came back, he couldn't get Job and he couldn't get Job. And that's what God will do for you, is sometimes he will put somebody in your life to put them on pause. And you don't worry, he's got them distracted. They're not going to get you all the way. They're only going to get a piece of you, and then you have to decide. Because now, meanwhile, again, just like the churches, when the door of the church is open, don't they say, will you come? They don't say, get up here and be saved, or whatever they want. They say, will you come? It's willing. It's the same with Satan. He asked you to join him. One of my favorite movies, Devil's Advocate. One of the best monologues I've ever heard is who's in the devil? What's the Keanu? Yeah, but who's the Al Pacino? Who's the devil? And he says, you know what? I really like about you is pride. He can't get Keanu unless Keanu is willing. He can't just tell him you have to do. He's got to get him to be willing to follow.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing that's going on in your life. So you have to make that decision to be positive. You get at least 5 more negative impulses a day than you get the positive ones. So you get to choose which ones are going to stay with you and govern how you're going to treat the next person. And guess what? The next person is always you. You're actually always the next person you see. About the story. Okay. So take that little lesson and be calm with yourself. Be patient with you. Because I think that's another truth. We don't really lose patience with people. We lose patience with ourselves. If someone's being who they are, I just have to be patient with how long I'm willing to wait, not how long they take. Because if they rush getting the message, they may not deliver it properly. And hurt themselves and as well as hurt people. So I'm willing to be patient with how long I have to wait for you. But if you're not getting the message, I'd say, well, you know what, I'll be back. I gotta go on the switch and go on. I'll be back. All right.
You like that one, Scott? I see you a little bit. Scott moves a little bit.
You got something in there?
I had a segue to mission. So another thing he was talking about how God tests you. And sometimes people wonder why they struggle. And the thing about it is I had to learn this the hard way because I've struggled a lot in my life. But I've realized that even though I'm able to take my struggles into what I was into struggling, is you can reach people you couldn't reach otherwise. When you're in the struggle, if you're talking to, when you talk about that earlier, I feel like I heard you saying about that earlier, but if you talking to your family and you contracting, he'll listen to you. But if you like a billionaire, he'll listen to you. Because only in the struggle can you reach people who are also struggling. So sometimes you think you're going through a struggle because you're being punished, and it's not. It's the only way you're going to reach somebody else. So if you don't have that opportunity, you don't have that positivity, you ain't doing your job. And so you're going to stay in the struggle until you help these people. So you got to keep doing good so you can rise up. It's not always about where you're at, it's about what you're doing. So it's still a sideline.
Stay there. Because I have a cousin who's preaching. And I said to him, Reverend Red, I love you when I get he didn't hear me on the first time. But I said to him, I would tag him if he was. I said to him, there are places that people I can reach because I don't have Reverend.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And so that's why we have to go.
Mm-hmm.
He can reach certain people because they see him as a Reverend. I can reach them because they don't see him as a Reverend.
And that's why I don't understand the Christian why they're putting everybody down, because when Jesus worked through the position with magnitude, that's how he worked. Because that's the only way he could reach you, being among them. So y'all try to be above here, talking to people below you, and say nobody's below you. You're talking to about it, y'all, but I'm talking to you kind of
And if you think I'm below you, then that maybe means that you wait for I told you I go there when I have to. But this
I'm just gonna say, I can't be below nobody because we're all made in his image.
yes.
So,
You know, I'm listening to all that we talking about, and I'm looking at when I think it was three people that walked out, and they didn't realize they was walking with Satan.
Okay.
And God was like, Satan, you know, what's up, my man? What you doing with them? And they're like, oh, we didn't even know this was Satan. Like, but you're chilling. See what I'm saying? Like, if you just look at that whole idea, that's, you know, you walking with some stuff that you don't even know because you hadn't done the reality check on yourself.
Yeah.
On that circle. I can't check you if I ain't checking the circle.
Yeah. It's pretty brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's laughing at the grapes.
And even Jesus said to Peter, or to Paul, I think it was Peter, when he said, Satan, get behind me.
Get thee behind.
You are looking at things through human eyes instead of spiritual eyes.
Yeah.
See, you have a path to follow, and there's someone who will try to keep you from following your path. When they do, you have to let them know. So we're gonna get okay. You want some comments?
So the same.
That's more history.
Oh, you finished writing?
I was writing it.
You want to read it?
I didn't finish.
You didn't finish it?
Tomorrow maybe.
She's dope. I just don't know her. Say it. Totally dope. See, like you can't even say it like that. You don't even have it. You're not even ready.
And that dope D-O-P, yes, she's a diva on purpose and evolution.
Look at that. You already broke you down. We read you. So you go home? No? Yeah. I will. No. I'm going to take it. Is it spicy? Yeah. I like spicy. I'm having Indian food today, just so you know.
Vegetarian.
Don't worry about it. You got Indian vegetarian food. So,
You know what? You know what? I just came back from Japan, and the best meal I had was in an Indian restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about that.
How you
We're gonna
doing,
figure out what's going on. What's up, bro?
Uh-huh.
I'll be finishing you tomorrow. Okay.
Good to see you. Thank you, sir. That was the police officers that just walked by. Bye-bye. Thanks for meeting me.
Listen, the food is good. Let's go. Because you talk about having the fish. So when your fish is in the pond, it's
in the restaurant, and they swim around the tables. The tables are platforms are
What kind of fish?
You choose what kind. And I don't remember what kind it was, but yeah,
I'm just wondering if they had tilapia.
No, they didn't. It wasn't. It seemed to me like there were 3 or 4 brands, and so naturally they have those fish in, sectioned off by themselves, so that you can go to that pond to get that type of fish. And then like we started to say is then you get your options of how you want to eat it. And so we chose to get the body cut off and fried, filleted and fried, and then the tail, not the fin, the tail, the bottom part.
That tail is good when it's nice and crispy.
Boom, broiled in teriyaki.
Oh yeah.
And we told them we don't need nothing with the head. We don't need y'all to make soup, nothing with the head. And the funny thing is, when I had posted about it, a lot of my urban friends, my New Yorkers stood up. That's why I was laughing when Pam said it, because a lot of people say, I hear you, I wouldn't have done it either. My sister said I wouldn't have even eaten it after seeing it get popcorn. Right? And I didn't even think of that.
Right.
Well, we got Jay. Words are powerful if you use them right. Yeah, that's why I always say control your vocabulary. Don't allow your vocabulary to control you. And words are powerful. WORDS. Let others remember and digest, strengthen spirit. When you use positive words, you uplift people's lives. WORDS. Let others remember and digest, strengthen spirits. When your words are negative, WORDS become what others remember, destroy spirits. So you have to ask, what are your words doing? And you want to, most poetry, and I do have to say most, because not all is made to uplift people. And sometimes the words, even some that want to uplift, knock people down.
Right.
All right. So as you embark upon trying to write poetry, and you can write poetry, I'm gonna give you a formula in a minute. But as you start to do it, think about where you're trying to go with it. Are you trying to uplift people? Because the truth is, if we're trying not to, if we're trying to hurt people, it's kind of hard to write that poem. No, we're gonna. Once you go through the metal detector, you'll buzz off, and we'll be right there with you. Can you run? All right, now take care. You too. Be safe. Ben Gaines always looking for a sponsor. This was an older guy. Older guy who was going through it. He good spirit, laugh. He said, do y'all need to check me before I go in? So I said, well, when you go through the metal detector, it's gonna go. He said, oh no, I'm gonna run. As I said, can you run? But you have to laugh with people like that. That's what I do. Can you deliver it? I know a lot of people say Sporty can curse you out and it's with a smile on his face. Because it goes back to what Jane said, words are powerful. How you use them make a difference. Okay, Michael, cool, I'm running out to the beach. Hit me when you...
She lives in Antigua.
All right, go to the beach.
She's always got pictures. So she sent me a video of her on the sailboat. They were racing with two whales, which racing behind them. Yeah, so I'm gonna check that out.
That's cool.
Yeah, she has some amazing pictures. She's really connected with this poetry.
So let me give a formula for writing. Well, we done with the fish stuff.
That's a conversation. We'll have that.
Yeah.
That's one.
Let me give you a formula for writing poetry, because it's really doable. Number one, don't immerse yourself in feeling, is this poem good enough?
Right.
No, did I write what I want to write? You can always brush it up. You don't have to start your poem at the beginning. You may start writing, and that might end up being the middle of your poem, or it might end up being the end of your poem. But you don't have to feel like you've got to write this sequential masterpiece for you to become a successful poet. What you have to do is get your words on paper. Formula that I use, and this is another thing that you said yesterday that I was really impressed with when you talked about how you wrote the guy a poem, he went home and put it to music, and that was a great moment for you. When I started my business, that part of what I offered was what I call personalized poetry, where I would sit with someone for 45 minutes, have them talk to me about the person who they want to dedicate their time to, and I write the song in my spirit to that person. Had to start that part of my business because you can't charge them. Because it's like a unique piece of it. But I had a good time doing it. And a lot of times I'll just do it. I still do it like for people's birthdays, and I just did one for somebody's anniversary. Okay. But so one of the things that you could do, and in fact, one of the things that I did in my book here, was 3 or 4 sections where what I would do is have a theme, and I have everybody give me 1 or 2 words for each letter of the theme. And then my challenge became to write a poem based on using that theme, using those words. And so that's because when you get stuck for a word, I call that a word bank. What do you do with a bank? You deposit. So you deposit the words into the bank, and then when you get stuck, you have a need to go and you make it with the word. And that's how you can write a poem. So if you want to throw a couple of letters in there, I can create one on the spot. But that's how you can start out writing poetry. Or maybe you can use that for journaling. You don't have to use it for poetry. You can, maybe you want to write a journal about something that you're dealing with. You know, and let, since people like drama, let's like that. Okay, so make ache. You know, so try to get a, but let me do what I wrote. Heartbreak. You write out heartbreak, but now take all the vowels out. Don't put words for vowels, only consonants. Because the consonants make your vocabulary. You start to watch how you talk. Consonants make your vocabulary. It's not vowels. And so take out the A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y, and just use those letters. So heartbreak, you got H, R, T, B, K. There's another R, but you don't need the second one. So now guess what? Now you only got 5 letters. And so now you get, what are words that have to do with heartbreak that begin with the letter H? Heart, healing, him, her. Okay, the R, rest, because you need to get over, revive, ridiculous, because you're mad at the person. Reflection, because you need to think about who you were in that relationship.
Yeah.
T, trust, maybe you're not going to be able to trust people. Time will heal you. Truth, maybe this person was dishonest with you. See, you don't have a letter for L, a lie, they lied to you, so you use truth because they were dishonest with you. K, you need someone who you're looking for, a kind person, somebody king, creative. See, you took that K and made creative instead of with a C. So that's what you would do.
You just gave a workshop. Like 2 minutes.
and
Which we'll talk about that too later.
Okay. And see, that's what you would do. And now, once you put all that together, how can someone tell you that that's not a good poetry? That's how you feel. And your poetry has to touch you. You have to, this is how I feel. I don't care how someone else, if they don't get it or don't like it, I got a chance to cleanse and do what I needed to do. So there's your poetry tip. And the reason I mentioned the book is because that's what I did in the book a lot. When I was in my life skills class, I did it with my senior citizens. I did it with speaking in schools with kids where I gave them the thing and had them give me the words, which now makes it more interactive. And if you want to become a speaker, you have to have interaction. And so it became powerful. Instead of me telling what to do, they created the image. And that's really when we appreciate people most, is what we get out of them. Oh, whole nother topic.
I wanna retract that for a second. You said something about homes not being good, or somebody's going to tell me what to do. When I got into slam, first of all, we started doing poetry. It's like, nah, because you're not gonna make a poem by slipping and getting fall into the garbage can, and you got dumpster juice all up your back, and you're supposed to bring it back home against a poem. It's someone talking about their loved one with leukemia. So how am I going to rate or even begin to put a number on those two in the same bout? And I just was like, nah, it's not going to work. And then I talked to Blackberry, and she's not on. Blackberry, she's the one who created the stuff.
Oh, okay.
And she said, I want to have a talk with you about slam poetry. And I want to tell you, in about 6-7 minutes, she had me head over heels on slam. I became a slam master of slam coach because of her. She told me to be able to. And I just didn't understand that number. But then, when I really got into how poets, or shall I say writers, I'm not going to put them just poets, right?
Exactly.
How they became
honest.
Yeah, how they were able to take their honesty about whatever the situation was and create this piece. Of course, we hold competitions too, but when we don't win, we already won.
Yeah.
That's how I had to understand this thing. Because I get to tell you about yourself in a way that nobody else can tell you about yourself. How do I lose? I already won. And had I not digested that, had I not let that sink in,
Okay.
and that's basically what she, in the conversation we had, that's basically what she gave me. She said, winning is beautiful, but you win every time you take a team. Because first of all, they first had to win with writing the piece. Then they win again performing the piece. Then they win again when they perform that piece to make the team. So they already have wins before they even go to a big stage where everybody else was already winning, even though they hadn't even competed in the big stage. That's the only way I was able to accept that.
Wow.
There's so many victories before you even get out there. So, and then when I got to Southern Florida, it was a family reunion of poets. Like all these poets that I met for the first time, it's like, different from Matt's, different from going to the local competitions. Not that they're unfriendly then, but it's just this big Super Bowl thing. You know what I mean? And people are losing, and people are winning, and people are crying, and people are laughing, and anybody's not going to say. And I had to think about it every time Ford does not get the scope that they came for. They got really, because they wrote this piece and they satisfied it. And you already won. And when I looked at it like that, there's no way I couldn't do something. Absolutely. And I don't get to slam it. I rarely get to slam. And I got my team, and the team's working, and earning spots, and doing sport. And I'm like, look, you really win. We want to win a title that's, that people get knowledge for and disagree. But you already know. You completed that piece, you performed that piece, you made a team.
And see, it's interesting because I like going all the way back to when we started with. I go all the way back to how do you compare a poem of 100 comedians to someone slipping with mud. And because that's still, if somebody's going to win the time, somebody's going to get that title.
Right.
And that's why I like the follow-up stuff you said, because what I think the reason is how do you choose between the female poem and the male poem? That's what's going on in the judge's life
At the time. Absolutely.
So that's why you never lose. But like you said, the win is because what's topical right now is going to get the trophy. But you still made it. And one of my acronyms, WIN, is W-I-N. What I mean. Everybody has a personal need. What do I need to feel satisfied? I need to be in the competition. I needed to perform. I needed to complete my poem. And so you broke it down by
Here's something else you gotta think about it. You said I read a poem of Shane, and Shane went to a speech reading about this, and it was real different from it's very different from what we're used to. It's real, stiff. The air was thick. People, more suit and tie-ish. And I read this poem. I did the poem, from my first book, the poem about my book. Let me show you about this.
Okay.
I read that poem, and then I sounded through the next one, and the person who's running the show, he's like, do one that's a little short. Like, what I mean? So he didn't get the poem. I guess he didn't get the poem. He didn't dig it, right? That same poem, I performed on the stage at a Davidson group. And it was this elderly woman. I mean, she had some age, and she was, she was walking in, so she was doing stuff. After the show was over, watching those people come up and they shaking, hey, good job, and some that. And I'm looking, and I'm seeing this woman, and I didn't realize she was bleeding.
Yeah.
She told me, she's probably been around. So she was telling me about, how her family had slaves, some of her family, their history with slaves and people having slaves and stuff like that in her family. And she told me that poem really, really touched her in a way that she didn't She didn't know that was going to happen right now. Now, mind you, she needed assistance to walk. She was standing there waiting on the same phone just to tell me, thank you for doing that. Yes, so it goes back to what she says. What do you need in that moment? What do you need? What do I need? And I'm saying this guy was like, yeah, do one short. Because obviously he didn't like that phone, whatever it was. I've never heard anybody tell me do one short, like, but he wasn't there at that moment. And that home was dedicated to my mother. And black women became a home for all women. You know what I'm saying? The idea was there. It was mom. It was all my aunts. It was people who taught my aunts. And people who taught them. Then the people who they came from. It was all women. And I'm just like, wow, imagine being, I won. But that woman won because I gave her something that she had.
And see, and that's the other thing about poetry. You don't know who you're going to touch. And that we can connect that to what we were talking about being judgmental. You don't know why somebody is where they are in your life and why you're where you are in theirs. You have to deliver. Yes. You have to deliver who you are. And, you know, Jesus said, throw the seeds. He didn't say aim. Okay.
Wow.
That's one of my favorites. Is that and if you want to take Jesus' name out, that's fine. When the farmers came in from the field, you know, they were not disappointed with the growth. They looked at their formula. None of them went and measured up and see him. Farmers throw seed. Now these days cultivation is a little more technology, but they got their grooves and this and that. But that, you know, and you know, again, what the Bible said, it guaranteed. It didn't say there's a good chance. It guaranteed that some will land on hard ground and not flourish. Oh, wow. That's the way your life is. Your message will land on deaf ears. If somebody who's in, you're not in this. Your seed is going to do them any good. Let it go.
It was not.
You don't have to be mad. You're not their messenger. That's all it is. That's hard for us to accept. Because now it goes to that what I need again. See, well, because now what happens is we lose sight of what I need versus what I ego needs.
Wow.
And if my ego needs to go back to what we talking about, people being beloved. It's kind of the same. If we need people to be beloved so that we can feel for the time.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing. So that's you know what I need. It's about you. It's all about you. Yes, it is all about me. So stay in your life.
Even in young people, it's actually because if you're not your best you, how you
can't help it. Do you want the doctor that didn't study medicine?
He had to be about himself to get to know who.
Wait, what's that commercial? Are you good? Well, I'm all right. Wait, where the doctor says, are you nervous? And the guy said, yes, the doctor said, me too.
I
don't want that doctor. Can you imagine that? You're going to go under the knife and he's like, yeah, I'm nervous too. Can you just picture him like this?
In fact, he said, me too. He said, but I just got my certificate, so I'm looking for it. Oh, again, now. Let's go. I need to get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, me too. I gotta go to this.
I'm going to close with the poem that I dedicate to that scenario. It's called Sometimes I Wish I Could. Because I don't believe it. Now, I believe you have to be good. And you have to be good, and you have to be willing to talk about it. Because the thing is, a lot of people are saying, you just self-centered. See, see, that's I know how good I am, how much more valuable you be to people when you know how good you are. And it's just the example we just used. Do you want the lucky doctor when they roll you in on the emergency room table? We are feeling lucky. I saw this on Grey's Anatomy. You don't want the lucky doctor. You don't want the lucky dentist when you need to get that anesthesia and they're going to poke a lot of your mouth. We want the good. We want good people around us. How do you get good people? Well, opposites don't attract like, attracts like. So if you want good people in your life, you have to be one of the good people. And guess what? You have to proclaim your goodness so they can know that you are one of them. When I started in my speaking business, I said I want to be Muhammad Ali motivational.
Wow.
When I found out that he was the Sporty king.
Now you talk. Hey, unique. What's up, sweetheart?
Okay, so who's the you of what? You are good, and you have to be willing to claim and talk about your goodness. And the people who don't want you to say how good you are, goodbye. Because you need people who are going to lift you up. You know, that you don't have to be considered arrogant just because you don't. You know, that's the thing with, you know, our younger generation learn about Muhammad Ali. Oh, the greatest, but y'all don't, they don't know about when he was Cassius Clay. And people did not like the fact that he said he was the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
That was why he got, you know, cut off from his boxing career because they called him a draft dodger because it was against his religious beliefs. But, you know, what he was talking about, who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, even if we go back, Martin Luther King was against the war. You know, and I'm not preaching anti-military. What I'm saying is, you know, look at the history of everyone who's your hero and recognize that nobody had this discipline slave. Everybody had to do something, and there was somebody who was against it. So if you believe in me, believe in me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still going to make some mistakes. And I'm going to believe in you, and I know that you're still going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we have to recognize it's not about being lucky, it's about being good. So this is sometimes I wish I was lucky. Because you see, sometimes I wish I was lucky. Instead of just so good. If I could just be lucky, I'm not share my luck. No, in fact, I know I would. Now, some people say that. I correct them and remind them that I'm blessed. I'm spiritually fortunate too with myself. Nothing amaze my personal happiness. You see, luck itself doesn't last. It provides a clever chance. Luck forces you to take risks. It lasts without things. Luck can give you that on the top of the world feeling, an instant fix of elation. Being fortunate keeps you on top of the world and allows you to enjoy the sensation. Spirituality is such a power, but it means much more than this. You get lucky enough to get spiritual. If you get lucky enough to find yourself, enjoy the challenge of introspection. Realize the path that you can take. Understand that you're supposed to have success and purpose. You must choose to live the process. Sunshine out of the rain. Sometimes they look like lucky. It's not just so good. You understand that? If you're lucky, you can do it.
I don't know about that. That's my man, Sporty. Listen, we're going to be getting out of here. Man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful day. Make sure you do something to make yourself happy. Enough out of this life. Give yourself a hug. Tell yourself tell yourself that you love you. You are the best you can be. Strive for that. Today, I want you to challenge yourself to be better today than you did yesterday. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. Sky, you want to shout real quick before we get out of here?
Nah, they hit the thumbs up and the love going up. Thank you.
See you next time.
Yeah, and over here on my feed, those of you know, plug into Josh Small. Get on his page. We're going to continue this conversation tomorrow with the new poet.
Absolutely. Sporty can come back anytime he wants to, but I don't know if his schedule's on like.
I don't know if I can do it.
Look.
I couldn't talk today. I had to sign this, so you owe me a session.
Look, we right here, Sporty. You know,
no breaks,
we
no breaks.
I see all men as equal.
Make sure y'all tune in, man.
That's what
Appreciate y'all
I'm
for chiming in.
Don't
We'll get with
forget.
y'all later. I'll be uploading on YouTube. Please share the video, tell your friends. We have 7 days left. The man of national culture.
That's Scott.
Please make sure you tune in and we get with y'all later. Be good.
This is like
be blessed.
international with everybody, all the correspondents are talking in different languages. But thank you. And I'll be posting this too. Check out my man John Small, JAHSMALLS Yeah, be on his feed for future live broadcasts as well as the wonderful stuff that he posts and really bringing you into the world of poetry, poetic experience and expression, and just sharing love on his journey and mine. Thanks again, and I will see you. Hey, tomorrow, by the way, I got Glue Wednesday coming at you. My topic tomorrow is going to be pain, Pain, people, anger, and negativity. So we're going to talk about pain tomorrow on Blue Wednesday. See you then. Ciao.